he came to Jagannath Puri, but out of that, the first 6 years, he went to South India, from South India up till Vrindavan Dhama. Then he came back, and thereafter he never moved. He went to Vrindavan only once. And for 6 years, he mixed with the devotees, and there were so many leelas given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. But the last 12 years, he stayed alone. Alone means along with him only Ramananda Rai and Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami, they were with him, and he was relishing his own pastimes. He stayed in Gambhira. If you have gone to Jagannath Puri, you should go to Gambhira, that small little place where he stayed for 12 years and enacted his pastimes there. Just for your information, many of the devotees, they think Ramananda Rai was an incarnation of Lalita Sukhi. And Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami, as Mataji said, his incarnation of Vishaka Sakhi, that is very correct. There is no doubt in it, and there is no question about it. I'll cover that also. Ramananda Rai was actually the combination of three. Which three? Pandava Arjuna, the 5 brothers of Pandavas. Out of them, one is Arjuna, that Arjuna. Then Arjuna Sakha, Arjuna of the pastimes of Krishna, that Arjuna. And third is Arjunia Gopi. These 3, they are all combined, and that makes the incarnation of or appearance of Ramananda Rai. Ramananda Rai was not Lalita Sakhi. This has to be remembered. This is given in the Gaura Ganodesh Dipika. Gaura Ganodesh Dipika, that is written by whom? That is written by Kavi Karnapura. We spoke about Kavi Karnapura last time. And as a matter of interest, there were so many devotees who appeared during the time of Lord Caitanya to take part, to assist him in his pastimes. And they were also the gopis or manjaris during Krishna's pastimes also, about 5,000 years back. I'll just tell a few names only. Lord King Prataparudra was Indradimna Maharaj. Then Uddhava was Paramananda Puri. Subala was Goridas Pandita. Goridas Pandita, the temple is there in Ambika Kalna, where Goridas Pandita was serving Gaur Nitai. Then Sridama was Abhirama. Then Gadadhar Pandita, we spoke about him the other day. Gadadhar Pandita is combination of Lord Krishna, Lalita Sakhi, and Radha. And Lord Gauranga manifested this triple form by his will. And Radha in her Svarūpa became Gadadhar Pandita. This is the complete thing which is given in the Gaura Ganodesh Dipika. Then Rangadevi was Gadadhar Bhatt. And Sudevi was Anantacharya Goswami. Indulekha was Krishnadas Brahmachari, who actually lived in Vrindavan. Then Tungavidya Devi was Prabodhananda Saraswati. Champakalata was Raghava Goswami. Chitra was Banamali Kaviraj. Chandravali was Sadasiva Kaviraj. Vrindadevi was Mukunda Dasa in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Then about this Goswamis, Rupa Goswami was Rupa Manjari in Krishna's pastimes. Sanatana Goswami was Rati Manjari, or known as Labanga Manjari also. Then Gopala Bhatta Goswami was Ananga Manjari, and Raghunath Dasa Goswami was Raghunath Das Goswami was Rasa Manjari or Tulasi Manjari or Bhanumati, and Leela Manjari was Lokanath Goswami Kubja, about whom we studied in the Bhagavatam. She appeared as Kasi Misra in Chaitanya's pastimes. Sukadev Goswami, he came as Ballavacharya, and Gargamuni came as Nilambar Chakravarti, who was the maternal grandfather of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Narad Muni, as you know, Srivasa Acharya. Hanuman came as Murari Gupta, and Haridas Thakur. Please remember, Haridas Thakur was also a combination of Richak Muni and Prahlad Maharaj. And Kubera was Kubera Pandita, who was father of Advaita Acharya. Now we'll go through what is given in the slide. Now in the text 1 and 2, here we learn Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's form and qualities always come to my mind. Jagadananda Pandita is saying, and thus my heart cries and my body constantly swells. That means he is coming under the Ashtasatvika Vikara, and he is getting this is all the things they are affecting him, and my body constantly swells. And as I cry, I hold a pen and write what comes to my mind, leaving aside my shame and fear. This is what he is saying in the verses 1 and 2. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Charu Prabhuji has come. Now, Charu Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, welcome. I have just finished the text 1 and 2.
No, it's okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji,
What I'm saying that if you like, you can continue and complete the class today, you know.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
So, in what we said, the author, that is Jagadananda Pandita, is saying about how he is starting with this book. And here we are learning about Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami and the author. Now in verse 3, he is so humble that he is saying, I am a Pandita in name only. I have no intelligence. Still, I want to write about Chaitanya pastimes. Now, he knows who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whom Jagadananda Pandita had seen in the Krishna pastimes as Krishna. Now, he also knows now that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna and Radha combined. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually Krishna, but in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And he is admitting that I have no intelligence, I am a great fool only, but still I want to write about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he is my Lord. And that's why he wants to describe. Then in verses 4 and 5, he is saying, Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami asked me, Oh Pandita, what are you writing? I replied, I am writing about whom I love. I am very confidentially writing down whatever comes in my mind about Chaitanya's pastimes. When Svarūpa Dāmodara is asking, what are you writing? He says, I am writing about whom I love. That is, he loves Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, in the Krishna pastimes, 5,000 years back, he was the favorite queen of Lord Krishna. That's why the connection between Krishna and Satyabhama was very, very dear. And now Krishna has appeared, Radha and Krishna have appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why even now, as Jagadananda Pandita also, he is very, very dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very dear to Jagadananda Pandita. That's why he is writing, I am writing about whom I love, and I am confidently writing down whatever comes in my mind. He is saying, whatever comes in my mind about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I am writing, and nothing else. Now, Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami in verses 6 to 8, he says, then write about the Lord's pastimes, which the world will be greatly benefited by reading about. There are many pastimes which are not known to others. Please write about them. Then Jagadananda Pandita, he responds, he says, I don't know what is beneficial for the world. I just write whatever I like. He left considering me mad, and sitting alone, I write meditating on the Lord. He is talking about Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. When Jagadananda Pandita replied that I don't know what is beneficial for the whole world, what is beneficial, what is not beneficial. I am not concerned about that. I will write just what I like. That means what comes to my mind. And he also knows that what comes to his mind is prompted by none other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Lord Krishna only. And he tells him point blank. And when he told him, then Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami, he left that place. He considered him to be mad. That's why he is writing. And he says, sitting alone, I write, meditating on the Lord. Like all these writings about the Supreme Lord's pastimes, you talk of Briyat Bhagavatamrita, there are so many other shastras. Please remember that the Lord himself, he comes in the mind of these devotees, he inspires them, and they write. And like the Goswamis, they were writing about the Leelas of Lord Krishna, though Lord Krishna had appeared 4,500 years before them, but they were writing what they were seeing in their mind's eye. They were not imagination only. That's why all these great personalities, what they write, what we read, what we come to know, please know that they are the complete truth. They are nothing but the truth. Then in the verse 9, we see, I saw many pastimes while living with the Lord, and I write about some of them as it is pleasing my mind. Now, there are so many pastimes, it is not possible to pen them by anybody else. Even somebody tries to write for thousands and billions of years, still then that will not be complete. That the Jagadananda Pandita, he knows. That's why he is saying, I am writing about those, I am putting them on those which are pleasing to the mind. Pleasing to the mind means pleasing to his mind, because Lord Caitanya, Lord Krishna, he is getting happy. The aim of the devotee is to please the Lord and nothing more than that. And that is what he is trying to do. And in verse 10, what he is saying, my mind cries, my heart cries, my eyes cry, and whenever comes to mind, I write down. What he is saying, he is in total ecstasy. He says, my mind is crying, heart is crying, eyes are crying, I am crying, but I am writing whatever is coming to my mind. This is what Jagadananda Pandita is telling about his interaction with Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami, and how Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami, he came in the writing of this book. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I have finished this slide. I'll just show the next one.
What you can continue, Prabhu?
Okay, Prabhu.
You're doing pretty good job.
Okay, next is verses 11 to 16. Śrī Caitanya and the author. Now, after speaking about Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami, as I told you, who was Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami? He was none other than Vishakha Sakhi in Chaitanya's pastimes and the various other devotees I also told you. Let us see here what he is talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his relationship with him. Now, 11 and 12, he is saying, one day the Lord smiled at me and said, you are the renowned queen of Dwarka. I am a poor beggar. Why do you serve me? You will find hundreds of sannyasis like me. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is reminding Jagadananda Pandita that in my pastimes in Dwarka, you were Satyabhama, and you are a renowned queen of Dwarka, and you are so dear to me that time. But in this birth, I have become a poor beggar because he has become a sannyasi. As we know, for 24 years he was a grihastha. Thereafter he came to Jagannath Puri and he took up sannyasa, and after taking sannyasa he came to Jagannath Puri. And he is saying, I am a poor beggar, why you want to serve me? He just, as we know, Satyabhama, the relationship between Satyabhama and the Lord Krishna, Satyabhama always, she was always a leftist, always trying to say something, trying to find a fault in any of the dealings, and she was most vociferous, and she was actually liked by Krishna, and she was the most favorite of Krishna. That's why you will find so many leelas also in Srimad Bhagavatam. He took her even to Swargaloka to get the Parijata tree and all that, all the things. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, you will find hundreds of sannyasis like me. Why you are running after me? Why you want to talk to me? Why you want to come to me? Now, to this question, Satyabhama, who is Jagadananda Pandita, is saying, stop your tricks. I am a maidservant of Radha's, at the Radha's feet. Now, you see these queens, they also know that they are the expansions of Srimati Radharani, and they are the servants of Srimati Radha. And as in the Kurukshetra Leela, when the queens along with Krishna, they came to Kurukshetra, and the Brajavasis also went there, and there also stories we hear. These queens, they tried to serve Sri Radha's lotus feet, but Radharani, she was not in a condition to be worshipped or served by anybody. But the queens also, they knew that they are the maidservants of Radha. They are the expansions of Srimati Radharani. And though Radharani was not married to Krishna, still we are thinking like that. And he is saying, do not speak that way. You stole the complexion of my Radha, you thief. I am going to catch you and bring you back to Braja. Now she is trying, they are always, she also knows, Satyabhama also knows that Krishna likes Vrindavana, and Vrindavana is very dear to him. That's why Jagadananda Pandita is saying, you stole the complexion of Srimati Radharani, you have got the golden complexion of Radha, and now I will bring you back to Braja. And I want Radha's feet, but you want to push me aside and send me to Dwarka. I want to go to Braja only and serve you there, but you want to send me to Dwarka. I do not want to go to Dwarka. This is your play. You are playing a game with me, and I understand it perfectly. Your act as a sannyasi, you want to trick us and serve Radha yourself. What he is saying, that you want to serve Srimati Radharani in Braja alone, and that's why you do not want any one of us to be present there, any of the principal queens or anybody else of Dwaraka origin to be there in Braja, because Braja is very, very dear to you. That I know. That's what Jagadananda Pandita is saying. But we know the moods of the gopis in Vrindavana and the moods of the queens in Dwaraka, they are different. And they have not come up to that level till now. But that is what is the Leela of Lord Krishna. And as we know, even Lakshmi Devi, she is still doing penance in Vrindavana even today to come up to that level of the gopis and serve Lord Krishna one to one. Okay, next we go to. Okay, here we'll see the text 17 to 25. The author laments remembering a childhood incident, which I was giving a hint in the very beginning. In text 17, I is saying, Jagadananda Pandita is saying, oh, Śrī Caitanya's feet are the wealth of devotion. Where have they gone, leaving me alone? They have thrown me away and left, but I have not died. I simply wallow in lamentation. He is saying, as if Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu has left him. We will know about this in this story. In text 18, one day in our childhood, we fought hand to hand in a quarrel at school. As we know, they were both classmates and they were going to school together and they were meeting, and one day they fought. Then what happened? I became filled with sadness and cried all day and night on the bank of Ganga in Mayapur. As we know, in Mayapur there is Ganga, and after fighting there in the school, Jagadananda Pandita, as a small little boy, he felt very bad that why he has fought, because as you know, he knows who he was. In his previous incarnation, he was Satyabhama. That also he knows, and he also knows that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than the combined incarnation of Radha and Krishna. That's why, though as school boys, little boys, they fought, but still he loved him so much that he came into lamentation. And then in text 19, compassionately the Lord came to me before dawn with Gadadhara and called out, Jagadananda, pride is very bad. Be straightforward and speak to me. What happened after the fight? Jagadananda Pandita, he did not go to his home. He went to the banks of the Ganges and he was weeping all the night. And before it was dawn, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandita, they went there, and the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried to console him. He said, Jagadananda, pride is very bad. Be straightforward and speak to me. Now, seeing the Lord's face, I gave up my pride and asked, why have you taken so much trouble and walked here across the hard ground of Nadia so late at night? It was not yet the morning. Have you taken such trouble for me? That he loves him so much that he is asking him, why you have come? You should not have come. I should have remained in my state, and at the appropriate time I would have gone to you. You should not have come at the dead of the night. Now then the Lord replied that let us go. The night has ended. Come to my house and eat. Knowing you were sad, I also fasted. I left my bed and laid on the ground. Now, because they had fought and fought together, and Jagadananda was fasting, he was sitting on the river bank. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying he also didn't get any sleep. He didn't sleep on the bed. He slept on the ground, and he also did not eat food at night because he was always thinking about Jagadananda Pandita. As we know, they are non-separable. They are not separable at all. The queens of Dwarka or the gopis of Vrindavana, they are not separate from Krishna because these queens of Dwarka, they are the energies of Srimati Radharani. Then what happened, he is discussing, Gadadhara came to my room and then we came here to search for you. And it is good that your pride is gone. Now let us go to my house and tomorrow we'll play together happily. Now he is consoling him, though we had fought. Now let us go to my house and my mother, that is Sachi Mata, will feed you because you have not taken anything at night. And then we'll again start playing. And this is child's play only in school. As young children, everybody fights. So this is what he was trying to say. Now, with this, what happened in text 23, I grasped Gadai's feet, that is Gadadhar Pandita's feet, and slowly got up. I could not disobey the Lord's order. I went to his home, ate something, drank some water, then rested for an hour or so. Now he is saying he could not disobey Chaitanya's order. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had given this order to come to his house and have food. That's why he could not disobey. And he grasped the feet of Gadadhar Pandita and he was telling him. Now in the morning, Mother Sachi and Jagannatha gave me some milk and rice and sent me to school with the Lord. And when I came home after studying, the Lord came over and ate with me. Now what happened the next day morning, Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra, that is father of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they gave food, milk, rice and other things to Jagadananda Pandita and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and both of them, they went to school from there only, and after the school they came back to the home of Jagadananda Pandita, and in Jagadananda Pandita's house, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they ate and they stayed there for some time. Then in text 25, love after a quarrel is like pure gold. Now he is remembering they had fought and had so much misery, but now it has come to an happy ending. And after the quarrel, he is saying love after quarrel is like a gold. I was so happy with my heart, and the Lord said, both you and I become angry out of love, and now our love for the one has increased. Now, what we are studying in this Prema Vivarta, how this love between Jagadananda Pandita and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is pure love, transcendental love. But in that, what is happening? That the loving anger, how it is coming in between, and it is increasing the mellows of their loving relationship. It is not decreasing, like it is not material at all. It is totally transcendental because the whole atmosphere is transcendental, and all the devotees, all the incarnations of the Lord, that is all the devotees who are helping him in this incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are enjoying all these pastimes with him. Let us go on to the next slide. Okay, now we'll have a 5 minutes break. 1 minute left. Welcome back. Now we'll go on to the next slide. Just a second, the slide is not moving. Well, we'll start from where we left. Text 26 to 30, the author's love for Śrī Caitanya. How much Jagadananda Pandita was loving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is described here. Text 26 says, by not worshipping the moonlight Sri Gaurangas, one's lifetime becomes ruined, and by worshipping him, one attains supreme happiness in life. He is the embodiment of compassion, and how can anybody forget him? He distributes so much mercy to his servants. Now please remember that he is the most merciful incarnation, much more merciful than Lord Krishna himself. That's why what Jagadananda Pandita is recommending, we should always worship Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And if we do not do that, and if we do not consider ourselves to be his servants, then we are most unfortunate. Therefore, we all should worship Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rather, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is worshipped with Nityananda Prabhu also, Nitai Gauranga, and that is to be remembered. And in text 27, he is saying, Sri Chaitanya is my master. He is not saying about this incarnation, that is that time, but he is remembering the past also. In the past also, he was master of Satyabhama, and now also he is master of Jagadananda Pandita. I shall never leave him. He is the Lord of my heart, and I arise and embrace anyone who calls out Chaitanya, their brother dear to my heart. What he is saying, anybody who considers Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as his Lord, he is my friend. This is how he loves Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in text 28, he is saying, I do not look at the face of anyone who does not call out, O Chaitanya, my wealth and life. Seeing anyone who has forgotten Chaitanya, even if they are a god or goddess, spoils my morning. That's why he doesn't want to see anybody who is not worshipping Chaitanya, who is not taking the name of Lord Chaitanya. That's what he is saying. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Lord of my life. And if somebody has forgotten him, even if he is a demigod or demigoddess, I do not want to see him in the morning only, because it spoils everything. If you see, if he sees somebody's face like that, then he says, my whole day will be ruined. And in text 29, he is saying, I'll beat with a stick anyone who leaves Chaitanya and honors another sannyasi. That means if somebody leaves Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, I'll take a stick and beat him. I'll throw fire into the mouth of anyone who leaves aside discussion of Chaitanya and speaks about irrelevant, meaningless subjects. That means he is telling us, please speak about Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu all the time and do not talk about any useless thing, meaningless subjects, irrelevant things. That is of no use, because speaking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is everything, and that is true bhakti, pure bhakti. And if somebody does that, then Jagadananda Pandita, he will be very, very happy with that person. And then next, if what pleases Chaitanya makes me mad, then let me endure such sadness forever. As you know, the gopis of Vrindavana, they were always in separation from Krishna when Krishna left for Mathura, and thereafter he went to Dwarka. They were alone. They did not have the company of Lord Krishna, and they were in agony. But they did not want to leave that agony also. They were finding Krishna in that agony, and that's how Jagadananda Pandita is saying that I'll endure that such sadness forever if what I am doing is pleasing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But when he gives up his own happiness and follows the duties of a renunciant, I have overwhelmed with sadness. He does not want Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give up his own happiness and does what a person in renounced order does. That is the duties, what the sannyasi does. If he starts doing that, then I do not like that. And as you know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's the various pastimes which are given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, they were with the devotees. He spent full time with the devotees. The 6 years, as I told you, 24 years he spent in as Grihastha and 24 years as sannyasi. Out of that, 6 years he went to South India, then up to Vrindavan. Then next 6 years he met all the devotees, not only of Odisha, but those who were coming from the Bengal during the Ratha Yatra festival and other times, and he was spending time. And of course, the last 12 years he spent in Gambhira. It is a secluded, very small place. Should not be about 10 feet by 8 feet or 8 feet by 8 feet. That room you should go and see in Jagannath Puri. But what Jagadananda Pandita is saying, if he does like a renunciant, like a sannyasi, then I will be very much saddened, and I should give happiness to him. Actually, that is the thing we should do as devotees. Our only job is to consider ourselves as servant of Krishna, servant of Lord Caitanya, and do things which please them. This is what is required to be done. Next, let us go forward. Text 31 to 43. The signs of Śrī Caitanya and Gadadhara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandita. I told you who is Gadadhar Pandita. Now, one day while playing with me, the Lord went into the dense forest on the bank of Alaka, and Gadadhara and I were with him. The Lord playfully caught a parrot in a babula tree. Holding the parrot, he said, "You are the son of Vyasa. Please delight us by speaking about Radha and Krishna." That is, there he caught Sukadev. Sukadev Goswami is talking about Sukadev Goswami is the son of Vyasadeva. And as you know, earlier he was a parrot only. And one day when they went to the forest, he caught a parrot, and that happened to be Sukadev Goswami only, and asked him to tell about, sing about the glories of Radha and Krishna. But we'll see, this parrot was very disobedient. He did not order the orders. Let us see what he did. The parrot did not do this, and instead he called out, Gaur Hari, feigning anger. The Lord threw the parrot away. He did not took the names of Radha and Krishna. Still, the parrot continued chanting Gaura, and danced in ecstasy, and his kirtana gave rise to feelings of divine love. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, though outwardly he did not like, but he approves of such things. As we know, there is no difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rather, Radha Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is no difference at all. And when the parrot, that is Sukadeva Goswami, as a parrot, he took out the names of the Supreme Lord, that is Gaurahari. He also became very happy, and this gave rise to feelings of divine love. That's what Jagadananda Pandita is saying. Then the Lord said, "Oh parrot, this is Vṛndāvana. Please speak about Radha and Krishna so that everyone may hear." This was actually Mayapur only, that is where he stayed, and all these leelas took place. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is reminding the parrot that it is Vṛndāvana only, and in Vṛndāvana you should talk about Radha and Krishna. Now to this also the parrot said that Vṛndāvana has become Navadvīpa, and Radha and Krishna have revealed themselves as Gaurahari. I am a parrot, and I chant the name of Gaura in this forest. You are my Krishna, and Gadai is my Radha. Gadai and Gauranga are the lords of my heart. Thus nothing else comes from my mouth. Now the parrot has understood the whole thing. Now you see, this is the transcendental world where the Lord and his associates are doing lila. The parrot is no simple or ordinary parrot. He was none other than Sukadeva Goswami, and he is replying that this is not Vṛndāvana, this is Navadvīpa only. And as we have already spoken, there is no difference between Navadvīpa and Vṛndāvana. And Radha Krishna have become Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That also he is saying. That's why the Gadadhar Pandita, who was accompanying there, Gadadhar Pandita is none other than the internal potency of Lord Krishna, that is Radharani only. That means all the things are there, the same things are happening. But since it is Navadvīpa or Mayapur Dhama, he is saying, I will take the name of you only, that is Gaurahari, and nothing else. And I am a worshipper of Radha and Krishna. And the Lord said, I am a worshipper of Radha and Krishna, and if I hear anyone else's name, I become upset. Saying this, the Lord took Gadai's hand and went back to Mayapur, leaving the parrot behind. He was feigning anger only. He says, why the Lord had come? He wanted to taste the love of Srimati Radharani. That's why he was in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna only. Lord Krishna is the mood of Srimati Radharani. That's why he is just saying that I am a worshipper of Radha and Krishna only. And if I hear anybody's name, anybody else's name, I am not going to like it. And that's why you should take the name of Radha and Krishna. But when the parrot did not obey his orders, he left the parrot, and he, Gadadhar Pandita, and just a second. He, Gadadhar Pandita, and Jagadananda Pandita, they left that place. Then what happened? The parrot said, you may sing whatever you like, but I will continue my worship forever. That means the parrot is saying, you may say whatever you want to say, but I will do what I have told you. I will take the name of Gaurahari here in Navadvīpa Dhama. And then what happened? Brother, I bow at the lotus feet of anyone whose heart the sweet pastimes of Śrī Caitanya arise. Now Jagadananda Pandita is saying anybody who worships Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and who is remembering the pastimes of the sweet pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I bow down at his lotus feet. This is what Jagadananda Pandita is saying. Then let us go on to the next slide. Now the next slide, Navadvīpa and Vṛndāvana, what we were talking. Text 44. I know that Gadai and Gauranga are Radha and Shyam Sundara, and that the 32 miles of Navadvīpa are Vṛndāvana. Jagadananda Pandita is saying, Gadadhar Pandita is none other than Radharani, and Gauranga is none other than Shyam Sundara, and the Navadvīpa Dhama is none other than Vrindavan Dhama. They are the same. And why do this? Those who see a distinction between the son of Yashoda and the son of Sachi not die, he is saying that those who think that the son of Sachi Devi, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and son of Yashoda, that is Krishna, they are different. These people should die. They have no right to live in this world, because they should know that both are the same, and both the dhamas are also same, and there is no difference. And please remember, if you ever think that these two dhamas are different, then it becomes an offense. That's why please do not commit this offense, and please know that these two dhamas, that is the Mayapur Dhama or the Navadvīpa Dhama and then Vrindavan Dhama, they are the same. There is no difference at all. And these are given in many other shastras also. And why do speculators who do not find Vrindavana within Navadvīpa continue their meaningless lives? Again, he is saying those who find a difference between them, they should die. They do not have any right to live. So that is what is the standard we as devotees we are required to reach. That's what Jagadananda Pandita is saying. Both these dhamas, they are non-different, and we should not consider them to be different at all. And Lord Chaitanya and Radha Krishna, they are also the same. Okay, let us go on to the next slide. Now, 47 and 48. Without worshipping Gaura, the worship of Radha Krishna is useless. That is, if somebody says he is going to worship Radha and Krishna and he will not worship Gaurahari, that is Gauranga Mahaprabhu, then Jagadananda Pandita is saying it is worthless, it is useless, it is not going to give any fruit. Therefore, we should learn from this that we as beginners, we as devotees should start worshipping the deity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, rather Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gaur Nitai, both, before worshipping Radha and Krishna. I sincerely love those who worship Gaura's name, abode and pastimes. Gauranga's name, abode and pastimes, they are none different from Krishna's name, abode and the pastimes. Therefore, he is saying, I love the person who worships Gaurahari, and the wonderful holy names, forms, abodes and pastimes of Radha and Krishna never touch a person who, after taking birth in Gaudadesa, does not cultivate the form of Gaura, the name of Gaura, the pastimes of Gaura and the abode of Gaura. He is saying those who have presently taken birth in Gaudadesa, that is the Mayapur Dhama, but still they are not remembering Gaurahari and they are not remembering Radha and Krishna. They are the most unfortunate people. They should not live. That's what the Jagadananda Pandita is saying. Now, with this, I end today's class. I have come to an end of today's class. Now is the time for question and answers and any comments if you have. Prasad Prabhuji has joined. we are most unhappy. We are very sad to hear about the news of departure of his respected father, and we all pray for his Sadgati. Let Lord Krishna give him, protect him, even if he has left his material body. Hare Krishna. Questions or comments, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, Prabhuji, wonderful and sweet class as always. Coming to the last section where you mentioned that there is no difference between Mayapur and Vrindavan, and one who makes such a difference is an offense. I just wanted to elaborate a bit on that. Like, what does it mean making a difference between them? What exactly
Yes,
does it mean?
if we go materially, yes, there is a difference. They are separated by so much distance, and the size and all the things. But what the context in which this sentence is spoken is that Lord Krishna, he enacted his pastimes in Vṛndāvana, and the same Lord Krishna, in the form of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he enacted his pastimes in Navadvīpa. And I have read in many other sastras also, the writings of Bhakti Vinod Thakur also, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, everywhere it is given. And here Jagadananda Pandita, who is none other than an intimate associate, permanent associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Lord Krishna, he is also saying the same thing. That means we should not think that they are different. Means the same Lord is doing his pastimes, is doing his leelas in these two places. That's how they are same. Otherwise, materially, if you see, there are a lot of differences. But spiritually, the Dhamma is the same. And in Navadvīpa Dhama Mahatmya also it is given very, very clearly. And for other comments, for more things, I'll request Charu Prabhuji to say something. How this is to be interpreted.
Hare Krishna. Let's first complete the question.
Okay, Prabhuji. Any other question or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Prabhuji, so in Radha Tattva we learned that without Radharani's mercy we cannot have devotion for Lord Krishna. Then without the mercy of Gaur Nitai we cannot have devotion for Radha and Krishna. Then more merciful than even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Nityananda Prabhu. So without his mercy, because he is the Guru Tattva, we cannot have devotion for the Lord. And then more than that, again going into the hierarchy, the Guru Parampara, they are more merciful than that. And then the Vaishnavas, then they say even if you serve, even in the little bit you serve any Vaishnava, that goes a long way. So basically, how do I go about it? I kind of seek mercy from the whole hierarchy. I mean, just explain me.
Okay, Mataji. Whatever you have said is very, very correct. They are totally correct things. Nityananda Prabhu is the Guru Tattva, and without Nityananda's mercy, you cannot reach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And without Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, we cannot reach Radha and Krishna. And Krishna you cannot reach without Radharani. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a combination of Krishna and Radharani. So this is, the whole matrix is like this. Then you are asking, as devotees, what we should do, whom we should worship. That's why I was hinting in your altar, like in my house also, in the temple, Gaur Nitai are there. If we worship Gaur Nitai, then all the conditions they are fulfilled. worshipping Nityananda Prabhu is fulfilled, worshipping Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also fulfilled. And that's all. If their mercy is there, we'll reach Radharani and Krishna one day. There is no doubt in that. But what is the problem with them? Problem with us? Problem with us is that we are not totally purified. Kalvasa or the impurities, they are with us. And that in our Madhurya Kadambini course, we'll be studying in very great detail how we'll be washing that off. Now we have to wash off all these impurities, and for that we have to go from the beginning only. Yes, there is no question of disrespecting any Vaishnava. That is the basic point that we'll see in the aparadhas also. Later on in Madhurya Kadambini, which mostly I will be covering, there we'll see that we have to respect the Vaishnavas and should not commit any Vaishnava aparadhas. That is taken for granted. Our spiritual master, what is given in every morning we say, Sakshat Haritvena. Sakshat Haritvena means what? The Guru is almost equal to the Supreme Lord. He is not the Supreme Lord, but he is almost equal to the Supreme Lord. We have to obey his orders, and whatever he has ordered us, taking the name of the Lord, that is chanting the name of the Lord, taking prasadam, all those things, those what he has given, that we have to follow. There is no two way about it. And then we have to worship Gaur Nitai also. And with Gaur Nitai, then all the conditions are fulfilled. We may not be in a position at this point of time to worship Radha and Krishna in our home. And the Srila Prabhupada, he also forbids that. We should start from the beginning, and when the eligibility comes, at that time we should go for worshipping Radha and Krishna, not from the very beginning, because firstly, Radha and Krishna worshipping, it is also a very difficult and laborious process, and it is not so simple. And as I told you, worshipping Gaur Nitai is the simplest, because even if you commit any mistake, any seva aparadha or any aparadha, they just do not look at you only. They look at what good thing you are doing, not any mistake if you are committing. They totally ignore those things, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is famous for bestowing his mercy upon the lowliest of the persons, like Jagai, Madhai and many others. And actually, if you see Jagai and Madhai, they are much more better devotees than any one of us. But still, then in his time, he had shown mercy to them also. That's why we should follow this. Then all the conditions will be fulfilled. That is what is my understanding. Any other question or comments?
Thank you, Prabhuji. I was just wanted to say that this course was very rightly organized. This is a very beautiful course. We would have really not understood anything without this. So thank you for introducing this.
Thank you, Mataji. Any other question or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandal Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
So wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. प्रभुजी, तो अगर हमें गौरा निताई और नित्यानंद प्रभु की मर्सी मिलती है, तो वो हमें फिर अष्टमंजरी की केयर में रख देते हैं, लाइक सठ गोस्वामी, तो हमें उनको भी सर्व करना है. तो लाइक दैट हम उनकी अगर मर्सी है तो हम उनकी भी सेवा करते हैं, तो वो बराबर है प्रभुजी.
Okay, what my understanding is, we cannot, we should not keep so many deities in our home temple. For a grihastha, it is mandatory to do archana, that is worship of the Supreme Lord in the deity form. There is, if you keep too many deities, it is very difficult to serve them. because you have to you have to have the expertise and time also, and know how to serve them. That's why we should keep minimum of the deities. But I'll tell you what I have in my home. I have got Bal Gopal, I have got Gaur Nitai, and as you know, since I am in the Purushottam Khetra, actually I had not kept Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, but once the Vaishnavas from the local temple, they came many years back, and they said you should keep them also. So they are also there, and these are the ones I am worshipping in whatever way I have got the capability, and I consider that I am not competent to worship Radha and Krishna, though Radha and Krishna are very, very dear to me, dear to all of us. We should remember their pastimes. We have heard about them all in all these courses. But in the temple, if Gaur-Nitai they are there, then most of the problems are resolved, because they do not consider our faults, and they bestow their mercy for nothing. Even if we have done nothing, we just simply serve them with a very simple way. They will get satisfied, and that is what my understanding is.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, तो हम उनके फोटो रख सकते हैं प्रभु जी हमारे
What?
हमें वो हम उनके फोटो फ्रेम रख सकते हैं डीटी की मदद से?
Yes. Actually, photos. Actually, the beginners. What is recommended? The beginners should keep the photos, not the deity forms. And thereafter, when you progress, then you can keep. Because if you keep the idols, not actually idols, the vigrahas, then there are many other things connected with that. You have to have the dress for them, you have to do sringar, you have to do so many other things, like at night they have to sleep also, there should be a bed, all these things. But many formalities will not be involved if you have photographs. Therefore, it is recommended that the beginners can have photographs, and later on one can have the vigrahas. They should be properly installed with the Vedic mantras or whatever in the system, in the Vaishnava system, and then one should worship. But when one starts worshipping at home, one should be very, very particular. Right time, should offer prasad to them, and then accept the prasad and follow all the rules and regulations. Get up at the correct time at the Brahma Muhurta or very early in the morning, then do all these rituals, ending with your prayers, that is arti, then other things. Like the temple, we may not be able to complete or do the things like what is done in the temple, the arti 3 times in a day, but at least 2 times in a day, in the morning and evening, we are all capable, and we should try to do that. That's what I am following. Though I am also learning, I am also in the learning stage only, and that is what I can say.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. If there are no other questions, then I will request Charu Prabhuji to say something.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
And Pranam Prabhuji. So it is long back. I have not gone through CC reading, and I am just getting few examples like Jagdanand Pandit. He said to Sanatan Goswami that from Puri you can leave to Vṛndāvana, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu scolds Jagdanand Pandit. I'm not telling him, but why you are telling him and sending him to Vrindavan? So this is one example, and Mahaprabhu gives him Chatusam, and he lives to Vrindavan. Then we do see that after a few days, Jagdanand Pandit comes to Vrindavan. Then Sanatan Goswami takes him to Baravan, and they stayed there for 2 months in Mahavan Gufa. And we do remember that Sanatan Goswami gives Gunjafal, Pilufal, and Shaligram Shila to Jagdanand Pandit, and we do remember that Pilufal Lila, how devotees at Puri, they don't know how to eat that Pilufal. So I just remember this pastime Shloji from Chaitanya Charita. If you have any more, you can share with us. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. We will hear about Jagdananda Pandita and all his pastimes in due course of time. And I'll request Charu Prabhuji to say something.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. First of all, I owe you an apology. This is my problem every Friday because it conflicts with my cardiac rehab program. As you know, recently I had a heart attack about 3 months back. So my cardiologist asked me to take this rehab program. It's a gym and it's cardiovascular exercises and things like that. So that, on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So on Fridays, the program finishes around 11 o'clock and I have to be here at 10:30. So by the time I drive from there, it's about an hour from the course. The class already started, So I try my best to come early enough, but that's my problem. Nonetheless, I'm very grateful to Sharad Prabhuji. Today, I had to tell him at the 11th hour, actually, that I'll be delayed. So please cover till I come. Since he has been doing so good job, I let him continue and finish the class. So he has covered all major points. Congratulations, Sharad Prabhuji, and job well done. Now, so much can be said. Of course, you in a given allotted time, you cannot cover a lot of things, But few things does come out in this today's class. First of all, it both the author himself, Jagadananda Pandita, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, Jagadananda Prabhu, he, as we all know now, that he is an expansion of Satyabhama, Queen Satyabhama. And so he has a very fiery nature, exactly like Satyabhama, And Satyabhama is also an expansion of Srimati Radharani, in other words. So Radharani is not that fiery, but she has a mana. She could tell Krishna whatever in her mind. She could be angry with Krishna and so on like that. Whereas Chandravali, other gopis, they dare not do that, And Chandravali's expansion is Queen Rukmini. Queen Rukmini also like that, very, very docile, in a kind of a everything very, very agreeable, whatever Krishna says. But Satyabhama, Queen Satyabhama, used to be very, very fiery and can tell left and right to Krishna. And Krishna would tolerate her because Krishna liked her particular fiery nature, just as Krishna liked Queen Rukmini also, of course, because of docile nature. Same way in Vraja, Krishna, of course, with Radha, but Chandravali is a very, very kind of a docile nature. So all these things that we see here in the interaction between Jagadananda Pandita and Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, don't forget, he is Krishna himself, but he came in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And why is so merciful? Because Radharani is more merciful than Krishna, and that is kind of natural, because Krishna goes by book according to our qualifications. Proportionately, he would respond reciprocally, whereas Srimati Radharani is actually so merciful. She would not look at all whether we are qualified or not. She would be very merciful. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, came in the mood of Srimati Radharani, because Krishna was always very, very kind of inquisitive, curious. Why Srimati Radharani loves him so much? What does she see in him? His sweetness, his beauty, and all these things. So he wanted to experience himself. That is one of the reasons why he came as in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So in the combined form is Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So in these today's interactions, we saw both comes out very clearly. Jagadananda Prabhu first. Jagadananda Prabhu, as we see here, he used to quarrel left and right for any trivial reasons. He would fight with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But again, what the title says, Prema Vivarta, the meaning of Vivarta, that means what we see, what we hear is not necessarily the reality, because we see here becomes very angry with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, fights with him, but that does not necessarily mean that he is offending the Lord. Just like Satyabhama is to really tell left and right, very angry with Krishna also, but Krishna would tolerate, and he would really relish that particular facet of love Satyabhama presented. So here also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu really enjoyed particular nature of Jagadananda Prabhu, and he knew Jagadananda Prabhu really loves him very, very much. And yes, in a devotional mood also he loves him so much that he comes out already, even though it looks like he acted as equal to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, particularly because they were childhood friends, they were buddies, they went to school, went together, they fought all the time. Nonetheless, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always very, very lenient right from childhood. So, and Jagadananda Prabhu, when he fights with the Lord, later on he feels very remorseful. Why did I do that? As we saw, one of the pastimes that he fought, but then he realized and he felt so remorseful. He went to Ganga river and did not eat all day and all the things, and he was repenting, crying all the time. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew about it. Excuse me. So he and Gadadhar Pandit, they went there and somehow pacified Jagadananda Prabhu that don't be so harsh on yourself. Please come, and because you did not eat, I did not eat. And we also that they got together. So that aspect of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jagadananda Prabhu, that very clearly bones out exact fiery nature, and yet Satyabhama had tremendous love for Krishna also, and Satyabhama is an expansion of Srimati Radharani. So all these things bones out very well. And same way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why he tolerated such fiery nature, because that's what he did with Satyabhama also, Queen Satyabhama. Okay, so that was very, very clearly came out all that thing. So that is what I really wanted to point out. And some of the questions that took, about Samata Mataji, Raksha Mataji, and very nicely handled by Sharad Prabhuji. In my altar also, we don't have that many deities actually, we have, of course, Gaur Nitai, Radha Shyama Sundar, Shri Radha Krishna, and so on like that. My affection, I see Krishna always, I cannot imagine Krishna without Srimati Radharani, So I worship Krishna in his youth when he had this wonderful pastime with Srimati Radharani. That's why I like very much. And you see this blue color and all these things, just like Radharani likes blue. So that I somehow, I don't know, naturally, blue color is very, very favorite to me, Anyway, so my point is here, that whether you go through all these things, whether you have to have a mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, to have a mercy to Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, you have to have Radha Krishna and all these things. Everything is perfect, everything is right, exactly. But you don't have to go through whatever you are doing that thing, you cannot differentiate between them. That's what point I'm trying to say, that you cannot differentiate. Nityananda Prabhu is a Guru Tattva. So you have, and Krishna himself said many, many times that without Guru you cannot approach Krishna, So Guru is the first thing, of course, So that is why Guru Tattva is there, But you don't differentiate between all of them. They are all part of the same situation, same, everything same, So you don't need to separately go through that. You have to understand that whatever one thing you're doing, it's exactly same, everything in totality, that's the same thing, Okay, don't worry about that. Whatever the effect, emotions that comes in your heart, with that you worship the divine couple, okay. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is extremely necessary because of that. Because why? There's another thing you notice in these particular pastimes. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we should never ever forget, he never ever claimed himself that he is the Supreme Lord, except very, very few, most confidential, intimate associates, he already said that. But generally, he presented himself as a devotee, and he would close his ears when somebody said that you are Krishna. He never wanted to admit that, actually, even he is Krishna himself, because he came as a devotee to teach us. Krishna himself came as his own devotee to teach us how to render devotional service to him, There's the reason he's doing that here, all these things here, So like that little incident that we heard about the parrot, parrot said that you go to hurry, and Chaitanya kept saying, wanted to hear Radha Krishna, because he was worshipping, he is Krishna, and he is worshipping Krishna and Radharani, that's what I'm saying, that. So he wanted to exactly, so that the feature came out very clearly, that he never wanted to, even within himself, he always considered himself as the devotee, okay, and he wanted to experience the love, Krishna Prema, that Radharani has, and he came in that particular mood. And why he's so compassionate, why he's so extremely merciful, because Srimati Radharani is like that, even in the material platform. Look at that, between father and mother, okay. Father would discipline a child, because he has that responsibility as a father to make sure that the child learns certain discipline, because when he grows up in the real world, when he is going to face somebody from outside, So that's the fatherly duty. But at the same time, when mother sees that the father is too harsh with a little child, she would have that so much motherly affection, love, and she would always, mother always will take side of the little child, and she will tell, and sometimes she will even tell her husband that don't be too harsh, this is after all a child, so child gets a love and affection from mother, but at the same time he learns a discipline from father. This is how the way it is like that. So here also we see that why Srimati Radharani is more merciful, because we are all her children, okay. And Krishna, as a father, he wanted to make sure that we are properly disciplined, we learn everything the Shastra says that. So that's why Krishna rewards reciprocally, exactly depending upon our qualification, proportionately. But Radharani doesn't see it that way, because she has this motherly great affection, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has both these combined things within him. That is what Jagadananda Prabhu is writing, and that is so unique about this Prem Vivarta book, all these things we are learning, and we are going to learn a lot more. We are just this beginning only. Okay, this is just a very beginning chapter. As we move on, we are going to learn so much aspect of it, and simultaneously we are going to be conducting this Madhurya Kadambini. So all these courses are so interrelated. That is so beauty part of it. And this is by all the divine arrangement. And Samdha Mataji said she was very thankful that all these wonderful courses are being taught now. This is all by the divine arrangement. We didn't plan that way. Prem Vivarta just came. I told you, it came just like spontaneously. Because when I was reading Jaiva Dharma, preparing for that, and there I learned the principal character. We'll learn pretty soon that the whole Jaiva Dharma is being presented is by in a story format, a fictional story actually. So there are the two principal characters. The one of them, the main character, is this Premadas Babaji, Paramhans Premadas Babaji. And he is the one. So there's a question answer format. So there I saw that he, Premadas Babaji, every day he would very strictly read Prema Vivarta Jagadananda Prabhu's. So I always wonder why it is so like that. He could have been saying that he could have been every day he's reciting Chaitanya Charitamrita or Srimad Bhagavatam, but no, he said the Prem Vivarta. So that's where I realized the importance of Prem Vivarta, and that's why I introduced this course, and that's why I fixed the 16 lessons, because I had no choice. That much only time was available before we start Jaiva Dharma on 14th of July. For you, it will be 15th of July. So I had only that much time. And here is a voluminous amount of information. Jagadananda Prabhu is packed in this Prem Vivarta, so that presented an extra challenge. And the way I told you last time, how I'm going to do it about that, So that much all I wanted to say. And thank you very much, Sharad Prabhuji. You have done wonderful job. And so much can be said, but the time, the class allotment time is limited. So that you got to recognize, and only the question answer format discussion. That's you say why I keep encouraging all of you to ask question. So much comes out of more than the actual class, actual lecture. More things we learn from this question answer format, and that's why particularly my teammates, I told them a special responsibility that they must really read my PowerPoints and prepare every one of all my teammates. About 10 of them are there, 10, 11. They must, each of them at least must come up and prepare for at least one question. Okay, because we are going to, because I see my teammates as the model. Okay, as the model someone to follow. So the rest of you who don't ask questions, silently, passively listening, they must get encouraged, they must get motivated. So that's why my teammates have a special responsibility to always prepare at least one question each of you, okay, and ask that, so that probing question, what are the intricacies of a particular class, that must come out, so the rest of you can learn, and hopefully slowly, gradually, they will be prompted to do their own homework and prepare the questions. More and more it becomes livelier, more we will learn, more it will be instructive. And these courses we are going to be conducting together are extremely important. One we just completed, Narada Bhakti Sutra, and now Prem Vivarta, and we are also concurrently we are going to be doing this Madhurya Kadambini, and then afterwards Sri Jaiva Dharma. All these courses are extremely important courses, so much we learn, and all these courses are focused just but nothing but pure bhakti, prema bhakti. Okay, so that is the wonderful part of it. And all these things happen nothing by planning. it happened by the divine arrangement. That's what you need to recognize that. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
And just Srila Prabhu just announced that Srila Prabhu lost his father just last night. I learned just last night only. And still he's there. That is just incredible. He's just incredible. Prasad Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. And I pray last night also the Lord, you are a great devotee, such a devotee's son is there. So the parents are absolutely, you can be sure that they are in Krishna's service, okay? And for you, particularly, I prayed that Lord may grant you a necessary strength to really sustain that shocking thing, because both your parents passed away in the matter of just couple months only, extremely painful. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your kind words. Okay, I'm not at all qualified, Prabhu. Okay, even to be part of this. Okay, you all showing your mercy, Prabhu. That's all.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Bol.
Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Then we'll end today's class with the Nrsimha prayers. I'll request Raksha Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam to all. Hare Prabhuji, we are so fortunate that we are learning so many scriptures from you and Sarat Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Dala dala dadaine. Dala dala dadaine. Hiranya Kashipurvakshaha. Hiranya Kashipurvakshaha. Shilatankan khalae. Shilatankan khalae. Hito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Hito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Yato yato yami tato Narsimha. Yato yato yami tato Narsimha. Mahir Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. Mahir Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. Narasimha Madhur Sharanam Pravate. Tava Kara Kamalavari Nakha Adbhuta Shringar. Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanuvringam. Keshavadrita Narhari Rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Ho Narsimha Dev. Narsimha Dev. Narsimha Dev. Jai Ho Narsimha Dev. Jai Ho Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj. Jai Ho Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा भगवान की जय हो। भक्त श्री रमणी प्रहलाद महाराज की जय हो। चारू प्रभु की जय हो। शरद प्रभु की जय हो। सभी डिवोटीज की जय हो। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय हो। प्रभु जी फोर्थ में लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा जयंती फोर्थ में।
Thank you very much. Sharad Prabhuji, you want to have a last word?
Thank you very much. All glories to all the devotees. Hare Krishna. Then we meet just